folks, how's it going? It's Matthew here again, coming at you with some garage sale finds. Now, this year I really haven't gone garage sailing that much. Last year I went pretty much every weekend and picked up a ton of stuff, but this year we've just had so many things like weddings and I don't know, just a ton of stuff on the weekends really, and we moved and just stuff like that. So I've probably only gone out actually like 3, maybe 4 weekends to go garage sailing, and this past weekend I wasn't even sure if I wanted to go out this Saturday, but in the morning I decided to, you know, wake myself up early and go garage sailing, and I'm glad I did because I actually found quite a few finds for some really good prices. So now usually what I do is I usually try and save my best pickup for last and kind of build up to the best pickup. But for this video, it might not really work like that, just because what might be my best part of the pickup was found early on in the day. So instead of doing it like that, I'm just going to go through the order of everything, of the order of how I found everything. And while I'm probably most excited about the first thing I picked up, the rest of it was actually a pretty darn good deal too. So make sure you watch the full video if you want. But yeah, like I said, the wife and I got up early. We drove into town, and what I usually do is I usually go to the bank first, pick up some money, and then hit up the garage sales. But before, like right on the outskirts of town, before I even had a chance to go to the bank, we seen a garage sale. So we're like, oh okay, we'll pull over and go to it. So we went to the yard sale, and I was kind of looking around. I didn't see too much, just kind of seen a few Wii games, so looked through them and not too much caught my eye. But then I looked down at the ground at the very base of the last table, and I found, well, I found this. Hopefully it's showing up fully in the shot, but yeah, Sega Master System, box complete. The box is a little bit rough, but for the most part, like everything was in there except for one of the controllers. It had the system, the light gun, one controller, all the hookups. Yeah, and it was box complete. It's got the styrofoam, the manuals, everything. So really excited. And like I said, I found this, and well, along with this, I found a few games. Now, first up is the only loose one, Wonder Boy. This one was actually inside the box, so I didn't have to buy it separately. And I didn't find it till I actually came home, so kind of a nice little bonus. But there's that, and then there's 3 other games. The first one is a Sega card game, and it is Ghost House, and still has the price tag on it. I'll clean these up after, but I want to leave the price tag on for the video. So, first one, Ghost House. They had it marked at 25 cents. Global Defense, 25 cents. And Monopoly, 25 cents. So, oh, and the other thing was, for the system itself, they had a $10 price sticker on it. So, in total, that would have been $10.75, which really I would have been happy paying anyway. But as I mentioned, I hadn't actually been to the bank yet. So I kind of started to count how much change I had on me, and it really wasn't that much. I think I had like $5.75 on me. So I asked the wife how much change she has on her, and I think she had like $3 on her. So in all reality, I could have drove to the bank and then came back with the full money, but I didn't want to actually have to leave this stuff there in case somebody else swooped in on it. And so I added our change up. It came to $8.75. So I'm like, well, for the 3 games in the Master System, would you take $8.75? And they're like, oh yeah, no, we'll take that. We just wanted to get rid of it. So I was like, sweet. So, yeah, as I mentioned, it's all there. I don't know if I'll open it up because that'll take a big part of the video, but it's in good shape. I already tested it out. Works great. So now I have a boxed Sega Master System, plus Wonder Boy, Global Defense, Ghost House, and Monopoly. 4 games that I didn't have before. And I got all the games plus the system for a grand total of $8.75. So that was my first stop. So after that, we drove on with the Master System and games in the back of the car. We drove to the bank, I pulled out some extra cash, and we went to hit up some more garage sales. We probably hit 15 in total that day, and I really only found stuff at the 2 garage sales. And I kind of showed you what I got from the first one, even though we'll revisit that in the story after. But one of the other ones that we went to, I seen a PlayStation 1 out front, like with the garage sale stuff or yard sale stuff. And I asked, I'm like, well, it said 25 bucks on it. No controller, just the cords, $25 for a PlayStation 1. I didn't want it for that price. I didn't even really want an extra PlayStation 1 because I already have 3 of them. So I asked the lady, I'm like, oh, well, do you have any games for the system? Because I didn't see any sitting out, but, you know, if they have a system, it's always worth asking if they have any games for it, or if they have any other video game stuff in general. Excuse me. So I asked her, and she's like, okay, well, I have to ask my son. So she yells at her son, come on over, asks him if he has any games. And the kid's probably like, I don't know, 12 maybe? I'm terrible with ages. But she asked him if he has any games. He's like, okay, well, I'll go inside and check. And he goes inside, and when I'm waiting outside, I'm kind of like, oh, you know, if they want 25 for the system, how much are they going to want for the games? The kid's like 12, so if he's already outgrown his PlayStation, is he just going to have like the common kid titles? And but anyway, so I waited around, and the kid comes out with about a stack of 10 games. And so I asked him, you know, well, first I made sure, I'm like, are you sure you want to part with these? Because I didn't want to, you know, him to feel like he had to sell me his games, or didn't want him to sell me the games and then him later regret it or whatever. So I was like, are you sure you want to sell your games? And he's like, yeah, no, I don't want to sell these. I don't play them anymore. So I'm like, okay, well, what do you think is a fair price? How much do you want for these? And he's like, how about $1 each? So I'm like, okay, I'm comfortable with $1. So as I mentioned, he had about 10. I pretty much grabbed anything I didn't have already. I just left what was what I already had, or I think there was a demo disc there too, but I didn't want to take it. But I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games that I don't have already. They're all fully complete with the game, the manual, and the cases. And for the most part, I was actually pretty happy and surprised by what he had. So I'll show you. Oh, and in the end, I took 7 games, but I just gave him 10 bucks, and you know, I said, no, you can just keep the extra 3 bucks. I'm happy with the 7 games for $10. So, like I said, he was 12, and you know, I just felt like being generous because I was happy with the game. So I was like, you know, just keep the change. So I think it works out to like $1.50 each in the end. But anyway, like I said, these are the games. First up is Blues Big Musical from Blues Clues. And don't judge me. This might be a fun game. You don't know. I don't know. Really, I picked it up because it was $1.50 and one I didn't have, and I love the PlayStation, so never know when you might need a Blues Big Musical game. So, picked it up. Next one, F1 Racing. I do like some racing games, more like the Gran Turismo and Forza and that style, where you can also customize. Need for Speed's another fun series too. But I picked this one up because I didn't have it and it was in good shape. So for $1.50, why not? Next up is Beyblade. I don't know. I figured for $1.50, why not pick this one up? I've never actually played with Beyblades or whatever, but why not? $1.50. Next up is Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories. And again, I don't really play with Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards either, but it's made by Konami, and it actually looks kind of decent. So again, another one I didn't have for $1.50. I wasn't going to turn it away. So, Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories. Now, the last three are the ones that I was kind of more excited about because they're ones that I had growing up, or they're ones that I thought were a really good deal for $1.50. So, in the end, that's why I gave them the extra $3, just because I was just happy with it. So, first up is Oddworld. Now, I remember playing this game as a kid, or having it as a kid, and it's actually quite fun. So, I'm looking forward to playing it again. And yeah, it says on the front, no menus, no inventory bars, no scorekeeping, just infinite lives, victims to rescue, and inexplicably challenging gameplay. So it's kind of a different game. It's kind of unique, and it really is fun. So I'm looking forward to playing it again. So yeah, Oddworld for the PlayStation 1. Now, the next game that I picked up, or next game that I'll show you, I was really happy to see. And mostly just because I had it growing up, and I really enjoyed it. I really found it to be a fun game, so I'm really looking forward to playing this one again, for sure. I don't really even care that it's the greatest hits version, or that the manual's kind of missing a part. Like I said, had it growing up, loved it. I looked it up, and for some reason I thought that it was going for a bit more, or like that it had kind of gotten some value to it. But when I looked it up, it looked like it wasn't costing that much. So I really don't know. But like I said, either way, I mostly just picked it up because I really wanted to play it. And that game is Spider-Man for the PlayStation 1, the first one. So, as I mentioned, had it growing up, really enjoyed it. There's been a ton of Spider-Man games pretty much on every console. I think I probably have like 15 different Spider-Man games, but this one has a lot of nostalgia factor or memories for me kind of thing. So I'm looking forward to playing it again. I remember that it actually had good gameplay. So yeah, Spider-Man for the PlayStation 1. Really happy to have it again in the collection, especially for like $1.50. So the last game is probably the one I was most excited to see. I'm not sure what it has for value again. I thought it had some, but I looked it up and it looked like you could kind of get them for not too bad of a price, but I don't know. I am happy to have it. It's definitely a good game to add to the collection, especially for $1.50, and that is Mega Man 8, the Anniversary Edition. Made by Capcom. Just a great series, and I'm just happy to have another one in it. So, I don't think I had this one growing up, so I don't believe I've played it before. I played a ton of different Mega Man games before, and I'm sure this one's not that different, but yeah, Mega Man 8 for $1.50. Really couldn't turn it down, so definitely happy with picking those 7 PlayStation 1 games up, and for the price I got them for. The kid was happy that he made some money. I was happy that I got the games, so it worked out for everybody. So, as I mentioned, I really only got stuff at 2 garage sales, but that's not all that I got, because I went to the rest of the garage sales, couldn't find anything, and I was happy with what I had found already, but I remembered that back at the first garage sale, where I got the Master System and the 3 games, or 4 games, for cheap, I remember that when I was looking through their Wii games, they had one that I thought would be a good pickup. So I decided to go back there and take a look. And the game that I remembered, and the game that I initially went back for, is Harvest Moon, Tree of Tranquility. They had it marked for $5. As you guys know, I'm a big Harvest Moon fan. Didn't have this one. I don't really collect for the Wii. We do have probably like 10, 15 games for the Wii. But I don't really collect for it. I usually just pick up party games for the wife and I, and when we have company. But I couldn't say no. Harvest Moon fan, so Harvest Moon, Tree of Tranquility. It's fully complete. I think pretty much all the games I picked up actually were fully complete. So yeah, $5. So I picked that up. I didn't argue the price, seeing how they gave me $2 off the Master System. So when I was back there, I was like, oh, well, do you guys happen to have any other old video game stuff? Because, as I mentioned, if they have some, it's always a good idea to ask because you never know what they might have forgotten to bring out. So I asked them, and they're like, yeah, no, I think we have an N64 too. So I was like, oh, sweet. And they're like, okay, well, I'll go get it. And so the husband went into the house to go get this N64. I already have 3 N64s. I have a blue one, orange one, and the jungle green one. So I was like, pretty much any color would be fine. If it's a common black one, that's fine because I seem to have gotten rid of all the black ones I had. And if it's a color I already got, I can trade it in or, you know, do something with it. So, and it did turn out. I'll show you what he brought out. I was more hoping that he had like something boxed or boxed games. They didn't, but what they brought out I was more than happy to pick up. So, first up is a SharkPad Pro 64 2 controller. Just a third-party controller. The cord's all wrapped around it, so I don't know how well you can see it. But it's see-through, which is kind of cool. But it never hurts to have extra controllers, even if they're third-party. Because somebody always needs an N64 controller, so you can always trade them off or whatever. So there was that one. There was a regular gray one, and the stick's actually in pretty good shape. It was a bit dirty, but I kind of cleaned it up a little bit. And then the third and last controller is a jungle green one. This one, the stick's a fair bit worn, but I cleaned it up other than the stick, and it actually came out pretty clean. So yeah. So there's 3 controllers, and then the system itself. Now, as I mentioned, I already have a jungle green one because I have the DK64 set boxed complete. So, not one that I personally need, but it does have the expansion pack there. So that was good. This one cleaned up quite well. It's pretty darn clean, actually. It came with the power cords too, but I didn't get them set up for this video. But yeah, so a jungle green N64 with expansion pack, 3 controllers, and it also came with 3 games. Now these ones I already have, but again, for the price I couldn't say no. So first one is Pokemon Snap. It's a little bit dirty. I cleaned it up. The label's a little bit worn, but whatever. It works. I tested it all out. Everything works. So Pokemon Snap. Mario Kart 64. Again, label's a bit worn, but works great. And Donkey Kong 64. So, I'm not sure if they had if this is originally a DK64 set or if they just had like a green one and the game as well. But regardless, I got the 3 controllers, the system, and the 3 games. And when they brought it out, they asked me how much I'd give them for it. So I'm like, well, because they priced this Master System so cheap, I was like, well, I'll just go with that, like that idea or whatever, because they want to get rid of stuff. So I said, how about the N64 stuff plus Harvest Moon for 20 bucks? And they're like, well, make it 25 and you got a deal. So I was like, sure, because this was 5 bucks anyway. So it's like I got the N64, 3 controllers, and 3 games for 20 bucks. So, like I said, it doesn't really add too much to my collection, but for 20 bucks, the expansion packs can almost go up to that anyway. So, I thought it was a pretty good bundle for 20 bucks, and I'll probably use it at the retro game store in my town to trade in for other games that I don't currently have. So, if I don't use any of it, it'll just go towards other gaming stuff anyway. So, yeah. That was basically my garage sailing on Saturday. Let me know what you think. If you think I got good deals, bad deals, if you played some of these games, if you remember some of them from when you were growing up, etc. I'll do a quick pan over everything again, just to show you guys one last time everything that I got from this weekend. But yeah, I was really happy that I did decide to go out because I was able to find some good stuff. So you can also comment and let me know if you guys have been garage sailing lately or whatnot. So yeah, thanks again for watching, and I'm sure I'll see you in another video soon. So thanks guys and gals, folks. Thanks.